These people must be called out. Our members of parliament are a shame. They are now rent seekers sitting in that house. And whenever anybody goes there, they ask you for money.
Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Remember, this is Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show, and I'm always glad to bring you up to date with comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place in this country and across the borders. This is a big team. Remember, Jeriel Kabiro is here, Richard Mwenja, as well as Professor Herman Manyora. All of us are part of this family. And of course, I'm here with my resident guest, Wakili Willis Otieno. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes.
Tell me, is the conversation changing? Because all along we've had the conversation about rejecting the finance bill. But of course, recently the president was in Nyahururu attending a function therein, and the young people were outside there shouting, Ruto must go, after being denied access to that particular church function therein. I wonder why they were denied access in the first place. But then, tell me, is the conversation changing from rejecting the finance bill to Ruto must go? And why is that?
William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza have refused to listen to the voice of the people. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Vox populi, vox Dei. When you refuse to listen to the voice of the people, then of what value are you to those people? Why then should you continue to occupying the offices which the people are the ones who are funding?
Okay.
The offices to which the people have donated part of their sovereignty. You've been sent as a messenger. You refuse to listen to your boss. Of what value are you then to the boss? Of what need is it for you to continue sitting there? Having refused to listen to the voice of the people are well in order to now focus on this messenger who does not listen to them. And hence now, the clarion call is Ruto must go. That is where we are now. Because if they're not listening to the people, then why should they continue being in office? That's the conversation that we are now having. The people of Kenya are going to move beyond the finance bill. It's going to be, why are you continuing? And we are not just complaining about the finance bill. We are complaining about the services that have been rendered to us by Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto. And we are saying, whereas they've been growing fatter, they've been acquiring wealth and showing it to our faces, us as a people of Kenya, we've been losing the quality of our life. Our young people are getting poorer. Our graduates cannot get jobs. The economy has been shrinking as relates to the people, but fattening as relates to those who are holding public offices. People who just 2 years ago were almost bankrupt, all of a sudden are working. What they are wearing alone is worth almost 10 million, 20 million in one day. I mean, what kind of a country is this? At the same time, the majority of the people, the ones you're supposed to be serving, are losing opportunities every day. One thing that I must say, and having watched the scenes from Nyahururu, William Ruto is now the real prisoner.
Why
the people of Kenya are free. That for him to go to a church, he must walk around now with a battalion of officers from different units, GSU, regular police, administration police, plus prison officers.
All protecting one man.
All protecting one man and blocking people from accessing it. He's working now in this country with a super police station. He's the prisoner. You know, don't think that being a prisoner is to be locked in a room. Being a prisoner is to be denied liberty. He's the prisoner. That is now a prisoner walking around the country. But we make sure that he's surrounded by uniformed officers, men in guns. He is not free. The liberty that you enjoy, he is not enjoying it. Why? Because he has refused to listen to and to heed to the voice of the people. It only took one tweet for Nyahururu youths to appear. Just to be told that William Ruto is in Nyahururu. And they appeared peaceably and unarmed. And they're just saying, reject finance bill, Ruto must go.
Okay.
And you have all these contingents of officers surrounding him. You can imagine how lonely and dejected that man will be. Because he's refused to listen to the voice of the people.
Now, you're saying that he's refused to listen to the voice of the people, but then he was at that particular function, and he said that he's listened to what the young people are saying, and he's ready to engage them. He's ready to bring them on board. Now, in the first place, I'm actually wondering how possible is it for the young people now to have a direct one-on-one engagement with the president so that he actually addresses their concerns?
I have also listened to the voice of the people. At no point have I heard any young person asking that you want to engage with the president, that you want to be brought on board. None of them has asked for a conversation. They have all, in unanimity, told you, reject the finance bill. I mean, nobody has gone to the streets to demand for a national conversation. None of these young people have said, we want a national dialogue about, no. They've told you, reject the finance bill. What else are you calling them for? What are you going to discuss?
Okay.
They have simply told you, reject the finance bill. You are not going to increase even a coin of our taxes because we've not recovered from last year's taxes. We've not recovered because they increased the taxes last year with the last finance bill. We are still trying to live, find our balance from the pain of cost last year. Before you even find a balance, you are trying to increase. So they are saying, not even a coin more. So reject. So what are you having a conversation about?
Okay.
Because they are the sovereign. The sovereign has told you, reject. So don't call the sovereign for a conversation. Discuss what? So you reject first.
Okay.
They are used to the usual political machinations that you will call people to a room to talk. Here, there's no one to call to the room.
So who does the president want to talk to in particular? This is what I'm actually asking.
Why does he want to talk to anybody? People have told him the outcome.
You're saying you people have raised very pertinent
There is
issues.
no raising.
Can we talk so that we
The
can bring them
public
together?
participation, the talks already took place.
Okay.
Parliament called the people of Kenya for talks during the public participation. And the people of Kenya told Parliament, reject this finance bill. The talks ended. I mean, there is nothing to discuss. There's nothing more to say. There's nothing new to talk about.
Maybe he wants to know why you people are saying he must go.
No. Those reasons were given in Parliament during the public participation.
Okay.
See, those were public participation.
Definitely.
They were covered live. See, people gave their views. People said reject. So what else are we talking? I mean, if you couldn't listen to the first talks, why are you having the second one? It's done. Now it's to reject. So calling us for talks, and who is he going to call anyway?
That is what I'm asking now.
There's
How
nobody to
possible
call.
is this?
Then we can meet at Uhuru Park or we meet on the streets. Tomorrow is a day. The people of Kenya are going to be on the streets across the entire country.
Okay.
So he has to start with Nairobi, fly to Eldoret, fly to Kisumu, fly to Mombasa, fly to Wajir, fly to Isiolo, fly to Narok. Yeah, that's where the conversation is taking place now. It has moved away from the boardrooms.
Okay.
We had the time during the boardroom conversations when Parliament invited public views. That was the boardroom. Now the talks are on the streets. So if he wants to talk, he knows where to find Kenyans. On the streets. In fact, some went to talk to him in Nyahururu. He blocked them.
Okay.
Anyway, they found he was a prisoner of the state. The state had condoned him off. But maybe he should have raised his voice louder. That I'm here. What are you saying? To hear to what they're saying.
Okay.
Reject finance bill. There is no more boardroom talk on the finance bill, I believe. That ship has sailed. And it will never come back.
Talk to me about the development, the electricity, the roads kind of card that is being thrown here, outside here, because that is what we are actually seeing. Because those who voted for this particular bill are saying that we cannot reject money that is meant for development, that is coming to our people. Our people need electricity, our people need water, our people need all these things. Do you think that is a justification for them to go ahead and pass that bill?
Does this country lack electricity?
There are certain areas that...
No, does this country lack electricity?
We do have.
It doesn't lack electricity, right? And that has been happening without the finance bill. and its punitive measures. Does this country lack roads? We've been building roads in this country since time of the colonial, time immemorial, in fact. Roads have been put up in this country. There was no finance bill. So, the point is this, and when you tell us about bursaries, so you bankrupt me, you make me poor, you deny me opportunities, so that I can become beholden to you. That for me to grow, I must come for your bursary. Let's be serious here, my friend. No Kenyan even needs bursary if we are in a working economy. These bursaries are just tools of oppression. They economically disempower you so that you can rely on them to give you bursaries. You go and beg them. Mheshimiwa, saidia na bursary. That money is even our money. Make the economy work so that I'm able to afford to pay school fees. I'm able to earn a living. And the excess surplus should be able to provide free primary education, free secondary education. Okay? Not for me to come and beg a Mheshimiwa. In fact, those people are not Mheshimiwas. Those are servants of the people. We should stop even calling MPs Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa what? What is respectful about them? Tell me, what is respectful? That they come every so often, end of the month, with our money. Now you have to beg them. You queue from morning to evening for him to give you a bursary check of 2,000. And thank you, Mheshimiwa. You start worshiping. Worshiping him for what?
So these are our members of parliament. By the way, talking of the Waheshimiwas...
Don't call them Waheshimiwas. There's nothing respectable about members of parliament. They are servants.
Okay, talking about our members of parliament here, there is that kind of... these allegations that have been made by the Georgia member of parliament, talking of MPs who are bribed, offered money so that they can actually vote yes. Do you think that our members of parliament have stooped that low?
The point is, if the crocodile came out of the water and told you the hippo is sick, will you doubt him? So he lives with the hippo in the water.
I would have to ascertain that
If Koimburi has come out of that house to tell you people are being bribed at 2 million Kenya shillings to vote, why are you doubting him? He's in there with that parliament with them. And he's even saying even he was approached. I mean, that is what has happened in this country. That's why I say stop calling these people Waheshimiwa. There's nothing respectable about these members of parliament. At the price of 2 million, even 10,000, they can sell your sovereignty. In fact, where we are heading as a country, we should start doing public shaming of members of parliament. Because they are not respectable. Shame on them. We should start giving them the shame. Because, tell me, I struggle to understand. Your employer, your voter, the one you represent, has told you, 99% of them have told you, reject this bill. You've called them for a conversation, they have told you, reject it. They've come, they've taken their time off their schedules, whatever they're doing, and they have told you, reject it, we refuse. I mean, how do you go and say, I ignore that? Then who are you representing? I mean, when you become a member of parliament, you are not a demigod. It's not about you. It's about the people that you represent. When they tell you in public participation, we don't want this, your duty is to actualize their voice. So when you go rogue and start voting because of money, then the people should shame you. They should not even call you Mheshimiwa. There's nothing a shame about you. So members of parliament, I believe, whatever the Georgia member of parliament is saying is true. Because what else informed that decision? They are compromised in their numbers. And there have been different reports even in the past of members being bought at even 10,000 Kenya shillings to vote a particular way. Members of parliament were even calling certain industry players who appeared before them to negotiate that for us to reduce the tax proposed on your industry, pay us this much. It's a shame. Industry players now don't even want to appear in parliament. They don't even want to write their names and which company they represent and their phone numbers, because once they leave, members of parliament take copies of the registration form and start calling them, asking for money to be bribed, to vote a particular way, to reduce. These people must be called out. Our members of parliament are a shame. They are now rent seekers sitting in that house. And whenever anybody goes there, they ask you for money before they vote in a particular way.
Okay, Wakili. The Prime Cabinet Secretary also weighed in on this kind of conversation. Of course, Musalia Mudavadi saying here that rejecting the finance bill in totality would amount to passing a vote of no confidence on the president. Do you believe that?
But
are we at that point?
We've already passed a vote of no confidence on Ruto on the streets. The people have said Ruto must go. That has happened. So Musalia thinks that it is so important that Ruto stays in office.
I saw people also question the legitimacy of the president right now that people are having all these things going on.
What is legitimacy if you can't listen to the people? I mean, the people are calling their sovereignty.
Okay.
We are now at this phase where we are doing direct exercise of sovereignty. Because sovereignty belongs to the people. They can exercise directly or through their representatives. We are now at the phase of exercising it directly. So Musalia also needs to smell the coffee. If William Ruto cannot listen to the people of Kenya, the people will exercise their sovereignty directly. So yes, we are rejecting the finance bill. If he doesn't want to, yes, they have voted against Ruto. They are going to do it themselves. So the choice is theirs. Respect the voice of the people or quit. In fact, as it is now, the people having rejected this bill, where the legitimacy of Kenya Kwanza to continue being in office? They don't have legitimacy.
Okay.
They are no longer acting on behalf of the people. They are acting on behalf of other players, IMF and others. We don't know who.
Okay.
So we reject. And we reject the finance bill, and we reject William Ruto and his administration that has refused to listen to the voice of the people.
Isaac Mwaura, of course, he says, the government spokesperson, he says here that, of course, there are people who are very genuine in terms of their discussions on these issues here, but he's also seeing that he's sensing some sort of a foreign hand into this and saying that there are people who are actually being sponsored to undermine the Ruto administration.
So they are saying Russia is sponsoring this administration.
I had some sort of assertions.
So when did Russia was giving them fertilizer last year, Russia was good. Yeah, Russia gave them fertilizer last year. And they went around the whole country talking about subsidizing production with fertilizer from Russia. Russia was good last year. Then today, because they've come back from America, Russia is bad. Nobody needs any foreign interference. In fact, the only person engaging the foreigners in this thing, in this country today, is Ruto and his people. Me, I'm yet to meet a Gen Z who has even met Russian, or even knows how to speak Russian. So those are gaslighting tactics. We are used to them. Even Moi used to say you are sponsored from Libya, Russia, a communist. We know those tactics. They failed in the past, and they will fail even today. Nobody is going to buy that there's a foreigner involved. They just don't believe it. And it is good they don't believe it, because they don't get it.
Well, but then here we are. Are we rejecting the finance bill? Or are we saying Ruto must go? Which is which?
Reject finance bill and Ruto must go.
Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.